Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The laughter around the dinner table froze midair, like sound caught in ice. I didn't even realize what I'd said until I saw the look on his face. I joked about getting a new husband. I said again, still smiling, trying to play it off. You know, since mine's too busy at work to remember our anniversary. It was supposed to be harmless. Light teasing. But Daniel's fork stopped halfway to his mouth, his jaw tightening. His parents, my in-laws, went silent. Even the clinking of glasses faded. Then Daniel leaned back in his chair, his voice calm, eerily steady. Maybe you should, he said. I'm sure it wouldn't be hard for you. The words cut through the air, sharp and cold. A few seconds of stunned silence followed before his mother forced a laugh, trying to diffuse the tension. But I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. My heart hammered in my chest as his eyes met mine, hard, knowing, dangerous. That look told me he wasn't just lashing out. He knew something. The evening crawled on painfully. Everyone tried to pretend it hadn't happened. Daniel's father switched topics. His mother poured more wine, and I kept my hands clasped tight under the table to hide their trembling. When the guests finally left, Daniel stood by the window, his reflection flickering in the glass. The streetlights cast pale gold across his face. I approached cautiously. Daniel, I whispered. What was that? Why would you say something like that in front of your parents? He didn't turn around. Because I'm tired of pretending. My stomach sank. Pretending what? That we're fine, he said. Then he turned. His eyes were rimmed red, not from anger, from sleeplessness. That I don't see what's happening. I stepped back. You're not making sense. He finally faced me fully, voice low, dangerous. Who is he, Emily? It was like the floor dropped beneath me. What? My voice cracked, barely audible. He stepped closer. Don't lie to me. I've seen the messages. A dizzying rush of denial surged through me. Messages? What messages? Daniel pulled out his phone, thumbed through something and held it up. A series of texts glowed on the screen, my name in blue, another number in gray. The words blurred together. Miss you already, last night was perfect, I can't stop thinking about you. I shook my head, words spilling out like broken glass. No, Daniel, that's not me. Someone's trying to. Enough. His voice cracked this time. He dropped the phone onto the counter. I traced the number. It's Mark's. Mark, my coworker. The one Daniel had always been uneasy about. My mind raced. Daniel, listen. It's not what you think. Mark and I were friends. He's been helping me with a project and sometimes. Helping you, he repeated bitterly. That's one word for it. I felt the tears building, hot and stinging. You think I'd betray you? After everything we've been through? I don't know what to think anymore. His voice dropped to a whisper. I've been trying to convince myself I'm crazy. But then I found that earring in your car. My hand instinctively touched my ear. Both earrings were still there. He noticed. So whose was it? I remembered the day instantly, carpooling with Mark to a client meeting, his assistant hopping in for part of the ride. She'd probably dropped it. But even as the explanation formed in my mind, I knew how hollow it sounded. Daniel's expression twisted, part heartbreak, part fury. You made a joke about getting a new husband, he said quietly. But maybe you already did. The house felt haunted that night. Every shadow, every creak in the walls seemed to echo with tension. Daniel slept in the guest room. I stayed awake on the couch, staring at the darkness, trying to piece everything together. I hadn't cheated. Not physically, not even emotionally. At least that's what I told myself. But then I remembered the late-night texts with Mark, the private lunches, the jokes that had started to feel too personal. It had started with harmless venting, then comfort, then connection. And maybe Daniel was right. Maybe the line had already been crossed. At dawn, I walked into the guest room. Daniel was sitting on the edge of the bed, fully dressed, eyes hollow. Please, I said softly, just listen to me. He didn't move. I shouldn't have let it get that far, I whispered. It wasn't an affair, Daniel. I swear it. But I talked to him more than I should have. I felt lonely. You were gone so much, and he. Don't, he said. The words sliced through my chest. Please, I begged. I love you. I made a mistake, but I didn't. He finally looked up. Do you think love excuses betrayal? I didn't betray you. He shook his head. You did. You just didn't sleep with him. That doesn't make it better. Tears blurred my vision. I never meant to hurt you. Daniel stood and moved closer, the air thick between us. Do you know what hurts the most? He said. It's not the texts. It's that when I pulled away, when I started to notice something was wrong, you didn't come to me. You went to him. I tried to speak, but no words came out. He picked up his suitcase. I'm going to my parents for a while. Daniel, please don't leave like this. He paused at the doorway. You joked about getting a new husband, he said softly, almost to himself. Turns out I'm the punchline. Then he walked out. Days turned into weeks. The silence in the house was unbearable. Every corner reminded me of him. The smell of his cologne still lingered on the pillow. I tried calling, texting, no response. Mark reached out once, apologizing for everything, saying he never meant to cause trouble. I blocked his number. I couldn't even look at my phone without guilt clawing at me. One evening, a knock came at the door. My heart leapt. Daniel. I rushed to open it. But it wasn't him. It was his mother, holding a small box. Daniel asked me to give you this, she said quietly. Inside was my wedding ring. I didn't realize until that moment that he'd taken it with him. A note was folded beneath it. I believe you didn't sleep with him. But sometimes betrayal isn't about bodies. It's about where your heart goes when I'm not looking. I hope you find yours again. My knees buckled. I sank to the floor, the letter trembling in my hands. That night, I sat by the window where Daniel once stood, staring at the faint reflection of myself in the glass. The woman looking back wasn't the same. I'd always thought betrayal was a single act, something dramatic, unforgivable. But it's quieter than that. It's the small lies we tell ourselves, the texts we don't delete, the loneliness we feed instead of facing. I lost my husband long before that dinner joke. I just hadn't realized it until his harsh words made everyone, including me, finally see the truth.